I continue to be fascinated by this matchup because, we had to make our picks yesterday. I procrastinated as long as I could because I really could see this game going either way. And not just, the Bengals could win 3 out of 10 times. I think the Bengals could win 5 out of 10 times.
Me too. I think what makes this game so hard to predict is that everybody originally will say, Burrow got sacked 9 times against Tennessee and they still won the game. Well, they got a lot of help from Ryan Tannehill. They got 3 picks, and plus Tennessee just didn't play well at all. And so I don't think you're going to be able to take that kind of punishment on Burrow. But Mike, today, before I came over here, I was talking to a head coach in the NFL who has played played the Rams multiple times. And he said the most important thing that you can do is to make absolutely sure that you get the running game going and not just throw the running game every time, even if you only get 1 yard. Okay, we're running it. No, you have to make yards in the running game because the Rams defense, especially the back end, is so fungible, so changeable, so different that Burrow is not going to see in the third quarter what he saw at the end of the second quarter. So in my opinion, I think this becomes a heavily reliant Joe Mixon power running game for at least part of it. For at least part of it. And then again, obviously, they're going to have to rely on Burrow to make some throws. The problem with him making the throws is having enough time to make them.
And is it as simple as, and Sims and I have talked about it, and I don't think that Zach Taylor, the coach of the Bengals, will ultimately do it, but just go back and look at what the 49ers do to the Rams, how they overpower them. Now, the Rams brought it with a level of physicality against the 49ers in the NFC Championship that we didn't see when they got steamrolled on that Monday night. The first night for OBJ, and Von Miller I don't think was playing yet, but that was that Monday night where we felt like the Rams were going next level and they got the crap kicked out of them by the 49ers. Wouldn't you, if you're Zach Taylor, at least consider studying everything that Kyle Shanahan has done that has worked well against that Rams defense, keep the offense on the sideline, overpower the defense, take the steam out of it, and try to win that way?
I agree, Mike, but I'm not sure that they have the level of physicality that the 49ers have. I think defensively they do, okay, but offensively, I don't know that line can sort of, and this is the wrong way to put it, can like beat up Aaron Donald.
Right.
And can really be physical with a very physical front. Sebastian Day and Gaines and Donald, man, that is one trio right there. But on the other side, a lot of people seem to be sort of, they're very surprised at how Cincinnati's been competent on defense. I'm really not, because you've been seeing it for much of the year. If you look at Reeder, if you look at Hill, to me, Mike, I've been talking about this, that the trade of Billy Price by the Bengals for B.J. Hill, especially now that Larry Ogunjobi is out for the year with his broken foot, a horrible injury for the Bengals, but they've got B.J. Hill to plug in there, and that to me was the most underrated move the Bengals made all year before this year. Everybody expected Trey Hendrickson to get after the passer,
right,
but the B.J. Hill move makes it positive now that they're going to be able to play really physical up front against that Rams running game.
See, I would be tempted, you think of how motivated and driven and focused and Aaron Donald is going to be. I would want to use that against him. We see those plays from time to time where he technically gets a bad grade for the play because he's overpowered his blocker so immediately that there's a
kind
hole
of
that's left,
play,
and there goes the running back. I'd want to try to deliberately induce those kinds of moments and get the Rams on their heels that way. Maybe if you can't overpower them, run where they're not. Go in the wash of Aaron Donald as he tries to get to the quarterback. It's going to require a level of creativity and execution for the Bengals.
Mike,
that is going to be a real challenge.
Let me say something about Aaron Donald. Somebody who knows Aaron Donald very well was telling me this week something that I didn't really think about very much. But If you look at a lot of the players who were playing in this game, a lot of the young stars, Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, a bunch of the Rams too, but a lot of the young guys, man, we're in the Super Bowl. This is fantastic. For Aaron Donald, he's got his Defensive Players of the Year. He is already, right now, if he never plays another snap in the NFL, he's a walk-in Hall of Famer. What is the one thing he's missing? And he knows that he's missing it.
He did that after the win over the 49ers. He wants the ring.
He is missing that for his legacy and his meaning to the sport of pro football. Because whatever you say about Joe Green, greatest defensive tackle. Whatever you say about Bob Lilly, I mean, those guys have championships. And whatever you will say about how great Aaron Donald was against all the defensive tackles of his day, if he never wins that ring, there will be a little scar and a little bit of a black mark on his resume, fairly or unfairly. But that's how players are judged.
Makes him Alan Page.
And he knows it.
Makes him Alan Page.
He knows it. Yeah. He knows it. And that's one of the reasons why I was told Wednesday by somebody who saw him he's ready to play right now.
Well, and that's why you've got this confluence of guys on the Rams who they all want to win for Aaron Donald. But you've got Matthew Stafford, who's trying to get his.
Same thing, yeah.
You've got Jalen Ramsey, who's trying to get his. You've got OBJ, who I think is a student of the game, and he's made for this moment, and he's been waiting. He's been through so much crap. He had the torn ACL last year, and then he gets out of Cleveland, and who knows what's going to happen. I think all these guys coalesce. And I feel like that overpowers the Bengals. And I don't want to write off Joe Burrow because he's the one guy who would flip that all around on you. And I think he's capable of flipping it around on the Rams. But he's going to have, we think, a lot more chances. I mean, Dan Marino thought he would have a lot more chances after getting the Super Bowl in his second season, too. And Burrow may need to be aware of that. But that's what makes this one, and we say it every year, somebody's got to lose, and it sucks. But there's no guarantee you're ever coming back. And Aaron Donald's got to look at it and say, hey, I was here 3 years ago, and look at everything we've had to do to get to the point where we're back in it. And this may be it. This may be his last chance. It may, 3 years
you never
from now,
know.
3 years from now, it may be done. 3 years from now, the decline may be on. 3 years from now, the cap may blow up on them, and they've given up all their first-round picks, and it's just not going to sustain. This is it. The time is now for the Rams.
Very rare is the player. Sam Mills got into the Hall of Fame last night, and very rare is the player who at age 38 can lead his team in tackles by 47 tackles and lead his team to the playoffs. That doesn't happen a lot with defensive players at all, ever. So I think you're right. I think Aaron Donald looks at this. We may never pass this way again.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.